All right, sorry about the break. My parents came over to my house, so I had to stop and talk with them. Um, but yeah, so you have the Storyborn Glimmers. Those are supposed to be almost directly from the story, so movie, TV show. Um, and then you have the Dreamborn Glimmers. These are slightly altered versions of the characters. Yeah, this says they've undergone a significant change that sets them apart from how they appeared in the original story. This change is a new expression of a Glimmer's personality traits or goals. They have different outfits or take on new roles or titles. So yeah, you see Belle's father. I forget his name. The crab from Moana. Yeah. Then you go to Floodborn. Yeah, these are some more dramatically different glimmers. So it gives you a little description of them. And then what's pretty cool here is Entangled. That's the one I was trying to think of before, where they were kind of corrupted by Ursula. They're the Entangled ones. Yeah, and it shows different artwork from different cards where the entanglement was taking place. Like you see one card, Beast is trying to fight it off, and Belle's trying to help him on another one. And then here's a section, Stories Revealed. Again, so like right here, it's obviously showing like Ursula as the big bad. Her trying to secure lore. I don't know if you can see that well. But you have like Detective Mickey finding some seaweed, and the Duke of Wesselton from Frozen finding some seaweed. And so those two cards were like in the first chapter, I believe. And so those were kind of the first puzzle pieces before we knew Ursula was the big bad. But it's something like that where they're just in the deck, but if you start looking at their artwork, there's little Easter eggs of them investigating stuff that can cross, properties like that. Like you have Mickey and people from Frozen looking into it, and then you have a Little Mermaid as the character as the villain. And then here you have some characters from Encanto putting together a prophecy from Bruno, helping the Lumineers figure out how to defeat Ursula. So yeah, it's kind of that where the story's being told through the artwork, through like Easter eggs and stuff like that I think is really cool. Then this explains Ursula's plan. So different artwork from the cards there. So then this says the first year. So we get a nice little picture of Ariel and Flounder and her collection. That's pretty cool. So then here you get the first year collected. So this says this section contains full color images of the cards in sets 1 through 4. So all them. This doesn't include promo cards. It does display enchanted cards. But yeah, so I guess here's the main layout of the Brave Little Tailor cards. So then it's got the number of what number it is in the set, because if you don't know, they keep track of that in the lower corner. Like this says 115 out of 204. And then you have the different boxes for a base card, a foil card, or a promo card. And then it has a rarity key right here. Yeah, so this says there's a write-in, so like this says that doesn't include promos, but this is a write-in, I guess, so it's not an actual, sorry. So yeah, you can, so if you have a different rarity than just base or foil, you can put that there. So yeah, so this is basically the first chapter, it says, and then it's just, yeah, it's got the card, again, the number and the set, base foil, a blank one, and then it does have like the artist's name of who did the artwork. So that's a pretty cool thing about Lorcana, is they are pretty focused on artwork and giving credits to the artists, so that's always cool. Yeah, I'll just page through these again. Like the other person said on Amazon, you know, all this is on the digital app. So not really sure how worth it is to get all this again in physical form. I personally don't like writing in books, so it's kind of another thing, at least for me personally. We'll see if I can find those Cinderella cards I was talking about. Otherwise, I'll just page through this real quick, because I don't remember what inks they were, and they might have been in different sets. But yeah, as I'm going through this, I will say I plan on doing a winter spell, which I believe is the 11th set for Lorcana unboxing. Whenever I get it delivered. Yeah. So yeah, just here's a section about the enchanted ones. So they're off separate. You know, these are, if you're not familiar, these are kind of the more rare ones to find, and these were like the rarest at the time. They've since had Fabled and maybe one other one, I forget, that are even rarer. But these are kind of more full art cards compared to the inks, and then you got the regular backgrounds. You got, yeah, you don't have the frames on them, and then you move into Rise of the Floodborn. Get those cards. Yeah, one of my favorite cards, you probably can't see it, is Sleepy's Flute. See that? I mentioned that in doing one of my Marvel unboxing that I did of the Topps Chrome 2025 Marvel Studios set. I like it when, like, minor things like Sleepy's Flute, I would have never thought that'd get a card, but it's cool to see those small details. So here's one of them. I think I missed the other Prince card. The Fairy Godmother Mystic Armor. So this is the Fairy Godmother that's making the glass sword for that Cinderella that's in full knight's armor. So yeah, it's this card, that one, and then there's a Prince Charming one where he's holding a shard of it, but I'm not sure. I think that might have been in the first chapter. I don't know if I missed it. But yeah. Again, yeah, so this is just, yeah, just skip around. So here's the other enchanted ones, then into the Inklands. Yeah, and then I guess I'm surprised they don't have a section on that one, because Into the Inklands was the introduction to location cards. So I guess that's kind of odd. I know it's kind of a, oh, I guess that was the third set, so should have had third and fourth, I think. Ursula's Return had location cards too, so kind of weird that they didn't have a section on location cards, unless I somehow missed it. Yeah. I've been thinking about doing a video on Lorcana cards and just looking at all the different artwork on them and giving my review, even though I'm by no means an art critic, but I just like some of the artwork on them. Just all the details and stuff, but haven't decided how I'm going to do that, if I'll just wait and go back and do just a set at the time, or if I should just go through like all of them and do a top 10. I guess, you know, if you're watching and you are interested in that, I can, you know, look at them, do breakdowns of like what details are in some of them. You know, I feel like some of them really don't have, like, I feel Storyborns don't usually have a lot of details in them or anything that are special to point out. You know, like you got an Eeyore sitting on a bridge that you probably can't see. Otherwise, you got like Lithos, the Rock Titan. Feel like there's not much detail on those, but I did say that, yeah, again, Lithos getting a card to himself is pretty cool. I always like the Titans from Hercules, so it's pretty cool that I don't think all of them have their own cards yet. I only think 2 of them have their own cards. I can't remember. But yeah, that's been what I've been thinking about, trying to do videos on the different artworks and everything. Yeah, these are some pretty cool enchanted ones that they had for Chernobog and Kita. And then you get into Ursula's Return cards. But yeah, I started doing that a while back. Well, I didn't put it on the channel, but looking at all the cards and figuring out how they interconnect, doing the story. Just the details that I've noticed, at least. Again, I think I was reading some of the lore and it's like, oh, this happened, and then I saw some cards and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they contradicted what the actual story said. I don't remember which cards or how, but that's just what I'm remembering. Is that sometimes the artwork didn't line up in a certain way. Yeah, so I was mentioning this before, this Vitalis Sphere. So that's one of those examples of like a Lorcana original card versus something from the actual movies or TV shows, that you get some original lore from Lorcana. Yeah, so just want to give you an idea, because like I said, all this is on the app for free and digital copies, so you've probably seen most of these. Some of these I don't know, I haven't even really seen, I don't think, but then get into the last few enchanted cards. And then this one's for the Lumineers quest, Deep Trouble. So these are some of the original Deep Trouble cards. And then, yeah, some more of them, and the last one. Half of the Hexwell Crown. Yeah, so that's it for the first book. I did get the second one. second one here. This looks like something was stuck to this. No, well, I'll work on that later. But yeah, this is sets 5 through 8. So again, they're going through 4 different chapters or sets. Yeah, like I said, I think Winter Spell's the 11th, so we haven't gotten a whole nother 4 sets yet for another book to be made. This one says Into the Unknown. Basically same thing. But this says, following the victory of the Illumineers over Ursula, the realm throws a massive party, but a cryptic map is found amid the revelry. It appears to hint at a hidden island across the sea. Readying a sailing party, Illumineers and Glimmers sail across the treacherous Azurite Sea. After traversing a watery labyrinth, they happen upon Arcasia's island. Here, Arcasia, an ancient Illumineer clad in owl regalia, teaches her new friends and the forgotten ways of dual ink casting. But as they test their new skills on the island's many obstacle courses, a villainous vizier is about to rise to power. So basically the same thing, but here we have the Shimmering Skies, Azurite Sea, Arcasia's Island, and Reign of Jafar as the next 4 sets. See if we can center that. But yeah, so again, I think the same review was it's almost exactly set up like the other book. So just probably go through this one a little faster if I can open this. So yeah, table of contents. But yeah, Shimmering Skies and some artwork of Judy showing up. I don't know if you can see that, to some fireworks in the distance. And again, you can watch the trailer. Talks about how they're celebrating their victory. A vision of discovery. So again, showing you some of the artwork that's tied into, I guess, the map and figuring out where it leads. Here's more of the stuff. Mystical artifacts. I think all these, all these like medallion things. I forget what they're called. The Chromicons. Reminds me of the Infinity Stones. But yeah, you find them, and like this one says, Amber aids in healing. Its inscription says, comfort the weak and weary. And then there's an amethyst, emerald, steel, ruby, sapphire. So yeah, so this is again some of that original stuff, the original lore for the game. The after party and epilogue. So it's Jafar making his move, hypnotizing. Sorry if there's glare. The Great Mouse Detective into helping him find finding owl footprints that sets up Arcasia. Then we have them setting sail on a ship. You got the Pirate Stitch, Jim Hawkins, the Lumineers. Again, you can watch the trailer. Got Baymax, Smee's Scheme. So his kind of side story to this overarching story arc. See some of the maps and Peter messing with them. Land Ahoy, so this is where they're coming upon Arcasia's island, and here's a good picture of it. Get rid of the glare. So yeah, that set had a bunch of like sailor versions of characters that you normally don't see as sailors. And yeah, there's Kezia, the Lumineers showing up. And there's Bolt. That one I think is like the Amber / Steel mixed cards like I mentioned before. Yeah, encountering Arcasia. So there's a beast. That one's I forget if it's a Dreamborn or Floodborn, where he's like really intelligent and into science, I think. Here's some more. Belle and her father working on inventions, trying to figure, I don't know if you can see that. This scroll makes a lot of, the writing makes a lot of appearances in this set. And you got more of the story, and there's the scroll across the bottom here. And then some more about the Illumineers and what they're doing. And then Hexwell Island, some images there, various glimmers. And then Training Hard, so there's a lot of artwork on this set where they're going, the different glimmers are going through obstacle courses. What is this? I've actually never seen these. These are lore cards? Huh. Yeah, I've never opened up a set of Arcasia's Island, so I've actually never seen these. So, and I'm surprised the other book didn't cover these cards. Well, maybe not this one, but they did used to have like promo cards where you put 4 together and they make, it was basically concept art of a certain card, like the mini that's in like scuba diving gear. You'd get the 4 pieces and it shows kind of the finished one, and then around it's different images of the different concept art, like maybe it was going to be drawn this way, maybe it was going to be drawn this way, sort of thing, and then it just all 4 together. Like if you had it in a card collecting book, you could put the 4 together and it makes a whole image. But yeah, I actually don't know that much about these lore cards, so I might actually have to read this part of the book. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, and then Reign of Jafar. Did that? Yeah, so notably, kind of like I mentioned before, like I said, I think they stopped making trailers for their YouTube channel. So, interestingly enough, they don't have a QR code for a trailer for this set. So, yeah, so I think they really pulled back. I don't know if they didn't get enough views that they just stopped making them instead of, you know, making videos, animating it all. Yeah. So that's I think the first one I noticed. Vanishing Act, because this brings in illusion cards. That's what they were. So it's kind of a new type of character card where they're illusions. Yeah, because they're like made up of sand, as you can see this like sand effect on them. The mole and the street rat. Yeah, sorry, can't get the picture better, but yeah, that's a big part of Lorcana's really cool, interesting new takes on characters and artwork. And here's more lore cards again. I've didn't even know those other ones existed. I didn't even know these existed. So, yeah, I'm kind of don't have that much input on these because I didn't know until just now reading this book. But it looks like, yeah, these help add to the actual story within the set. So instead of looking online for the story, because I think there was some, because in the starter decks you get a little booklet. I think there might have been some indications of what the story was, but it wasn't as in-depth as the online stuff would go into. But yeah, this is pretty interesting that they actually put it in cards. Here's a picture of Hades. See if I can get that better in any way. So yeah, then this says the second year collected. Again, seems like the same setup of the card, the number, whatever. And that's something that I noticed on the other book, is here they don't show that they give more prominent credit to the artist, but that's interesting. Try to show you what I just saw. I don't think the other one did that. So you're at Shimmering Skies. So there. Yeah, this was the introduction of Brother Bear characters, or cards altogether. I don't know, Wreck-It Ralph had a card in like the first chapter, I think. But I noticed up here in the corner you got a little blue Arcasia symbol. You probably can't see, but it's the owl character just standing there, which is interesting. Oh, is this? Oh, it's actually, I'll try and show you. Again, sorry for the camera angle. But now, go to this next page, and he's actually turned. Probably can't see that right now. He's looking to the right. Yeah, so it looks like if I page through this, it's actually set up as a flip. It looks like you get into Jafar too. But yeah, it looks like you can almost do a flip book thing with these upper corners, so that's a cool little Easter egg thing. See, I wonder if they thought the same thing making these books, like everyone can get these for free digitally, so why would you need to buy these books? So adding these cool little Easter egg things like that, maybe. I mean, it probably still doesn't justify it for most people, the cost, but you know, at least they're trying to add something that's little interesting and different than the digital stuff. Again, maybe I'll just skip through these a bit more just to get to the other parts. Yeah, the Enchanted again. Yeah, getting into the Azurite Sea. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but Casey is moving off with his wings out. And eventually got Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit. Predates Mickey. What is this? I guess at some point here. So it looks like he keeps walking and stuff up in the corner. You probably can't see. But then this next page, they're just like gone. One of these pages up here. Yeah. So for some reason, it's not in any of the other corners. Just ended, so I don't know what the ending's supposed to be. I don't. think we get anything. Yeah, that's basically the end of it. Just there. But now getting into this, we have Jafar in the upper corner. Here's an example of the mixed inks if you've never seen it before. So this is Ruby and Sapphire. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to be playing a Ruby and Sapphire deck in order to play that, I think. Again, I haven't played it. Yeah, I haven't played a game with mixed inks, so I don't remember what the rules are. Still have Jafar in the corner. There's some of the enchanted cards. Then we're getting into Reign of Jafar. I think this is where illusions were brought in. Yeah. So this one's up here. I probably can't see it. I'll see if I can find a better one. But this is the Sultan, the Royal Apparition. That's a mixed ink card, but also an illusion. And they didn't do that either in this book, did they? Oh, I guess they kind of did. I feel like they didn't, like in the first book, they really broke down what each thing was, but this one kind of didn't directly. I guess in the story, if you read it more than I did in this video, at least, they'll explain illusions better. So in the upper corner now, looks like Iago is flying off of Jafar's shoulder. Toby Turtle. Dump truck. Yeah. I got like Rescue Rangers eventually came in. I think they were in Into the Inklands, but yeah, just cool seeing the TV series mixed in with all these. Television set from 101 Dalmatians. Again, one of those like minor details that actually got a card, so I think that's pretty cool. Some of the enchanted cards. And then you get here to Illumineer's Quest. See if I can. Palace Heist. So all these cards that were included in that set. But yeah, still surprised they didn't have a direct breakdown like the other ones did, the other book. Like just directly. I'll see if I can find it. I don't remember where it was. But something like this, where it's like Floodborn Glimmers and Entangled. I just have direct examples. I guess that's something this didn't even do, is say, okay, here's character cards, and then here's item cards, here's song cards, and then I guess then it would make sense to do location cards with that, but I guess this doesn't even do that, and I didn't really realize that until just now. But yeah, so I think maybe they could have added sections about those, And then, like I said, when you're getting to the other types too, like in this book, they maybe should have had a section of here's illusions, just like when they get into whispers in the well, here's what whispers are, just kind of more direct information about them. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But yeah, I kind of agree with the review I saw on Amazon where maybe these aren't worth the $20. I guess it all depends. It really, like they said, it doesn't have that much lore in it, but I see if they are trying to get you to maybe pay for the story now instead of putting it on the website for free or making the YouTube videos. Yeah, I can see that that's maybe the route they're trying to take, to have you pay for it, which of course stinks because who wants to, pay for that stuff? But, it's an aspect of the game, although it's not super important to the game if you know the story, because obviously you can always mix and match cards from different sets, so they're not, it has to be part of this and you have to know the story and everything. But yeah, I guess they're pretty cool, but yeah, it is pretty much just a checklist at the end of the day. But yeah, I like the lore and everything. What I'd really like to see from them is, and I'm guessing they're probably already working on it, I don't know, I haven't seen anything about it, but I think a concept art book would be awesome, interviews with the artists, or even like concept art of the cards, of like, here's how this card came to be, or here's some alternate versions that they didn't use. Stuff about the art style, figuring out, how the artwork's going to connect through the story and the Easter eggs and stuff like that, which I think they actually do have a video up now. I think it's on that Lorcana app, about how the cards are made, which was something I was really interested in, figuring out how they come up with them, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm pretty sure I saw that. So I'll probably check that out. But yeah, so I figured I'd give these books a shot, see if they're worth it or not. I obviously think the second book is a little more worth it for me because it has all those lore cards that I didn't know existed. So, yeah, and if I'd kept up with the game and everything, I'd probably have a better idea. But, so yeah, like I said, I'm planning on doing more Lorcana content on my channel, just because I really like the artwork and I really like the Disney crossover aspect of it. Maybe videos reviewing the different art on all the cards. But yeah, definitely a winter spell opening. Got a booster box of that I'll open when it comes. Mostly because I'm excited for Lilo and Stitch, the series, to be a part of it, and I really enjoyed that show, and I like all the different experiments, so I want to see how many experiments actually show up in that set. I know right now the set's already on the app, but I haven't looked at it. I know obviously Angel's in it. I think I did peek once and I saw 625's in it, Ruben. But yeah, it'd be cool to see. I just wanted to keep it limited on what I saw, just so it can be kind of a surprise to me when I'm opening the set, actually. Otherwise, I look at it in the app and then I get the cards and I'm like, well, I've already seen them, so it's less of a surprise. So I'm trying to keep it as much of a surprise for myself as possible. But like I said, let me know what you think about these books, or what kind of Lorcana content you want me to make. But yeah, please like, subscribe, check out, I think the Marvel Studios Topps Chrome box opening video should already be up, so you can check that out. Otherwise, I have it's mostly Marvel Studios content, MCU stuff on my channel as of right now. I do have I have another opening I want to do that's Marvel related. And then another, well, maybe a couple other more general Disney openings I want to do. So, yeah. Anyways, before I keep rambling, thanks for watching. Bye.